my video ended up being like 8 or 9 minutes long. Okay, so it's basically me just talking about my experience with using AI and Chat GPT and my recommendations. Right, I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do, but just recommendations on how to perhaps use AI and Chat GPT as a student overall in general. And again, it's more or less an opinion or thoughts, insight, and so on. I would never, try. My whole premise as being a tutor is not to tell people what to do. I'm a guide. I help them figure out what works best for them, right? And so this video is going to be, basically for someone who's used AI and Chat GPT, and because I'm going to use some terminology you probably are aware of if you already use it. So again, thanks for watching, and here's the video. Hey, it's Angie here. How are you doing? Today is March 19th, and I am waiting for my first video to process so I can edit it and put it out on YouTube. And I've been meaning to discuss a few things regarding math and science work, and this is going to pertain to AI and ChatGPT. So I have a few thoughts on that, and I've been thinking about putting out a video just to discuss how I use it with my businesses and maybe make some recommendations on how students should use it with their work. Okay, so we know GPT and AI have been out for some time, and it actually rolled out and gained popularity when I was wrapping up my graduate degree. I have a master's in healthcare administration, and I think I took the entire program. It took about a year and a half or so, and I completed it. It was largely paper driven, right? So I had to go through peer reviewed sources and crank out papers. I probably wrote about, I don't know, 40 or 50 papers through that graduate program that I did. And so I didn't get to use ChatGPT or AI on that, or I wasn't really in the forefront of my thinking, I guess. It was just bottom line, it was just emerging when I was wrapping things up with my program. I would caution students who are, doing lab courses and chemistry courses, physics, so on, anatomy, all those science related courses, because reports do come up and you have to do them. And I think there's a science to them in general. And I am going to have some videos, maybe a video or two on how to produce a nice, lovely chemistry lab report. So I'll start with that, and then second, well, I guess extending on that, I wouldn't have Chat GPT or AI do a report from scratch. Okay, I would use it as a refinement tool. Um, I would have, all you should have all your data from your lab experiments, and mainly from there. Aside from the data, you'll have to do an introduction, most likely materials and methods. You have to do results and discussion. Further review and analysis. You'll have not just the actual data part, but a beginning and an end, right? And those are probably the most, in my opinion, because I'm not really language arts driven. I struggle a bit to write. I've gotten better over the years, but that's taken a lot of practice. Written lots of papers over time, and again, I think using it as a refinement tool, or using artificial intelligence and ChatGPT as a refinement tool, is probably the best way to go. You feed it what you have and what your thoughts and ideas, and it can refine it for you. Okay. Um, I think we're getting into, I've noticed headlines, and I don't know the results of these headlines yet, but I've seen where students have gotten into trouble when when it's suspected that they're they're cheating. You can cheat from Chat GPT AI, or you can cheat from a lab partner. And there are serious consequences for that. So I would keep it, try and keep it as original as you can with your work. And again, just have GPT or similar programs. I think there's like Gemini with Google and so on that can and basically refine it for you, make it step it up for you, so to say. And with my business, so I use ChatGPT. I have two businesses. I manage my dad invented and patented a canvas stretching plier tool, and so I produce videos for that. I produce social media content, and so on. So I have ChatGPT help me fine tune or refine like video descriptions. Make sure it has all the content and message that I want to send, and it'll refine it for me and put it in a nice format. And then I also have it help me generate title ideas, thumbnail, verbiage ideas, mainly just like verbiage. And then I'll sort of give it an idea of what I want to see, and then they'll kind of give me suggestions, and I'll tweak it to what I would like to see on these videos and titles and thumbnails and so on. So it's definitely a great tool to get more ideas, right? It's just a tool in your toolbox, right? But as you've probably seen, if you use ChatGPT, it'll say on the very bottom something along the lines of you need to double check the information it gives you. Okay, so even it knows that it's not going to always be 100% accurate. But I'll tell you what, I've had ChatGPT fix embedded code. I wanted to put in, for instance, a member badge because I belong to Grow Nebraska, and I wanted to feed in this badge into my website, and the code that I got from Grow Nebraska was sort of generic, and I wanted to fine tune it, right? I wanted to make the letters or put the words in my font and shrink the size of the image a bit, and I don't know code. I don't know how to code. I think it was like HTML code or some kind of special, web programming code. And I fed it into ChatGPT. I said, "Here's this code. Can you make these modifications?" And it spit it out for me in just a few seconds. So it was so nice to have to make those modifications, to make those fixes or changes in the code. So, just like my example there, you can, feed in your paper and have ChatGPT check it for, maybe spelling, arrangement, wording, and so on. But always make the core. I would suggest as a science student, as a math student, as a student general, make the core work your own, and then artificial intelligence can sort of help you out on the back end and make those refinements basically. So I'll leave it at that. The only thing I wanted to add, I guess, was don't don't be afraid to be original. So I've reviewed a lot of reports in my line of work from students, and I can look at them because I've done so many over the past couple decades. I've done so many reports that sometimes I want to take what they have worded, even though it's completely legitimate. I want to take it and word it into a more sciency, give it a more sciency effect. And the thing is, the thing you need to understand is that as long as you're able to convey the data and the facts, your discussion elements and so on in a clear and concise way, it doesn't need to be creative, but you don't have to have a lot of fluff. Okay. So I've been really tempted to make suggestions as far as um, mega enhancing a report. It's like, no, as long as you get the message across, you'll get better, right? As you write more and more and more, you'll get better at writing reports and getting that concise scientific method tone that generally the science, world, whether it's your professors or whoever's looking at your paperwork or your reports, they're gonna definitely like it and want you to perhaps join them later on their team as a researcher at their school. So thanks again for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I just wanted to bring ChatGPT AI into the into my YouTube channel because hey, I think we all use it, and to some level, right? So just as a quick side note, I don't use it to solve problems because I generally know how to do them. I would probably use it if I'm stuck, right? If I'm stuck on a problem and I don't know where to go, I would feed it into ChatGPT to see what suggestions they might have on fixing a particular, say, math or science problem. That's it. Thanks for watching. Again, hit like and subscribe if you want to be notified when new videos come out on my channel. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.